Taylor Cole, it's all yours.
Alright, I want you to raise your hand if you have a parent that that works in like a business area like Dow Chemical or a school or a doctor's office or any kind of office. Okay, you can put your hands down. Now, how many of you have left for school one morning and you forgot to tell them goodbye or I love you? Raise your hand. Okay, how would you feel if you went to school, you didn't tell them that you loved them, you didn't tell them goodbye, and a plane comes and crashes into their building? You don't know if they're okay, and you don't know, like, you're trying to find out all day if they're alive or not, and you just can't get a hold of them. Well, that's what happened to people that were living, or that had parents in buildings, except they were up in the top of buildings. They weren't on a one-story building. They were up on the 20th floor, the 13th floor, and tons of people were killed. All right, I'm going to talk to you about Park 51, which is a Muslim mosque that was built right next to Ground Zero, which is where the planes hit World Trade Center. And first, I'll tell you kind of what it is and what it's about, and then second, I'll tell you why people are for the building, and then I'll tell you why they're against it. Okay, some background information. It's a Muslim mosque that was built. It's kind of rebuilding what was already there because there was a Muslim prayer room on the 17th floor of the World Trade Center. During 9/11, there were 32 Muslims that were killed. 29 of them were in the World Trade Center. Most of them were in the prayer room. And then there were also 3 on the hijacked planes. And Park 51 is actually open to everyone. It's not just Muslims. Okay, the first perspective is it's a good thing. It should be allowed. It's all right. The economy, it's supposed to create 150 full-time jobs and 500 part-time jobs. And it's kind of a big deal. If there's a bad economy like we have right now, it's just going to help. And then religious freedom, there's a lot of people that are saying it's our First Amendment right, you have a right to religion, it should be okay, even though it's right next to where tons of Americans were completely slaughtered. And this is a quote from Obama. It says, "As citizens and as president, I believe that Muslims have the same right to practice their religion as anyone else in this country. That includes the right to build a place of worship and a community center on private property in Lower Manhattan in accordance with local laws and ordinances." Basically, he's saying that freedom of religion, it should be okay. Okay, next one. The other perspective is it's bad. It shouldn't be there. 9/11 was committed in the name of Islam, so why should they build a Muslim worship place right next to where all of these Americans were killed and slaughtered? Religious tolerance. There's a lot of people that say, like Muslims that are saying that the Americans need to practice religious tolerance. If they want the Muslims to be okay with Americans, they need to be okay with Muslims. But according to Newt Gingrich, who was a former Speaker of the House, there are no churches or synagogues in Saudi Arabia, but there's already over 100 Muslim mosques in New York City. So why not just build one somewhere else? And there's strong opposition. Okay, you can click. According to former Muslim American commander, we Muslims should first separate mosque and state before lecturing Americans about church and state. He continues that American freedom of religion is right, but it is not right to make one's religion a global statement. With time, Islamic edifice that cast a shadow over the memorials of Ground Zero. Islamists in moderate disguise are still Islamists. Yeah, or no, forward. It'll go back. And then back to the strong opposition. There was a poll from CNN.com. 70% of Americans opposed the building of this. They think that it's wrong, and they think that it shouldn't have been built because it's really disregarding all of the families that lost loved ones. And then, along with the opposition, this is from the Muslim Canadian Congress. And they say that many Muslims suspect that the idea behind Ground Zero Mosque is meant to be deliberate provocation to thumb our noses And basically they're saying that it's made in like bad faith and they're just like causing a problem which is forbidden in their religion, and they think they're just trying to like force their way in, rub their noses at like how we killed your people. Like they're saying that it's open for everyone, but there's really kind of a secret meaning behind it. And okay, so I talked to you about what it is, why people are for it, and why people are against it. And next time, tomorrow morning, before you go to school, make sure that you tell your parents that you love them, tell them goodbye, because like many Americans that lost loved ones, it could be the last time.
Hey, what?